Hi, I'm Sasha and I will probably look naked for most of this video because of the top that I'm wearing, but don't worry, I'm not. And today I want to talk about talent in language learning because people always tell me, oh, you know so many languages. I know 6 languages. I've learned 6 languages and the 7th one is my native language. And they always say, oh, you know so many languages, that's because you have this talent. You were born with this gift of acquiring languages easily and effortlessly. And I always try to explain that, no, it's not like this. It's not true. It's not how it works. But for some reason, people are never convinced. So I just want to address this once again in this video because it's just so annoying when people do not appreciate the efforts that you actually put into something, into a skill or whatever knowledge that you have right now, and all the time you also had to spend learning it, practicing it, etc. So do you need a talent to learn foreign languages? The answer is yes and no, because, well, there's a lot of things that I should mention. Like, the simple answer is no, you don't need a talent because all of us already speak at least one language, but most of you probably speak 2 languages, English and another one. So you are completely capable of acquiring a language, any language, because you already have acquired at least one. And a lot of people are raised bilingual, so they were capable to acquire 2 languages, even two languages at the same time. So it doesn't mean they're talented, they just were in good circumstances for that. So no, you don't need you don't need a talent to learn a new language or multiple languages or to be good at it. What you need is motivation, discipline, and other things that I talk about in my other videos. But the answer is also yes, if you look at it from another perspective. Like, when people look at me now and they see a polyglot who speaks several languages fluently, they're like, oh, you must be talented. Because for me now, it's so easy to learn a new language because I just have this skill. I've worked on so many different languages, different systems, different kinds of pronunciation and rules that I just know how to approach this whole language learning process. And you can call it a talent, but I just call it a skill because there's a theory that if you want to be good at something, what you need is to practice it for 10,000 hours and then you'll become an expert in whatever. For language learning, it's the same. It's like, I've spent so much time, I've put so much effort into language learning in general, into looking for methods and techniques that work for me, that work in general for everyone, into ways to choose a language that I like, that motivate me, into all these things. And I also practice. I actually sat down for hours studying, and now I have all this experience that makes me better, helps me learn languages faster, because every new language that I start learning, it's just easier. I can't say it's faster because it really depends on the language. For example, when I started learning Arabic, it took me much longer than any European language before. But it is definitely easier because you already know what to look for, you already know what you should do, what you shouldn't do, you already know what will not work for you for sure. So these things definitely help, and they make you an expert, some kind of expert in the topic that you dedicated a lot of time to. And right now I can help other people learn languages, and that's what I do. But I cannot say that I have all this just because I'm naturally gifted with this talent. I think the thing that I was gifted, I was maybe born with, or that I acquired with some time as a child, is the interest in languages, motivation to learn more about, intercultural communication and different cultures in general, including languages. And I just really liked languages in general, and I was genuinely interested in learning different languages. This is something that I had. It's not like I forced myself into learning languages. No, it gave me this initial impetus that allowed me to study more and more and more another language and another language. And then I acquired all these years, hours of experience, of study hours, etc., that made me into what I am right now. And now, obviously, I'm really good at it, but not because of my natural abilities, but because of the efforts and because I'm just a language nerd and I spend so much time studying. And now I'm good at it, and you can be too. So I would say that in order to start, you don't need a talent. But when you start and when you actually make it into your passion, or it doesn't have to be your passion, but it has to be something that you like doing, something that you would spend hours doing and not feel like it is forced, not feel like it's something that you have to do for some random reason, something that brings you joy and pleasure. And then if you practice something of this kind, you build step by step, brick by brick, you build this whole temple of your talent or the skill that you acquire. And there's no end goal, but in the process, you obviously get better, and you can say, yeah, now I am talented, and now I can do this so easily. And I think it works with anything. What we call a talent is actually just an interest or a passion to do something, to be a certain kind of person, or to be good at something, maybe even. But how good we get does not depend on the amount of talent that we have, but rather on the amount of efforts and time that we dedicate to this thing. I also think, as I already mentioned in the beginning, that saying that you're just talented and that's why it's so easy for you, I would say it's not even polite, because it's like saying, oh, all these hours that you've spent studying, it's just nothing. It's not worth anything. Like, the only reason to your success is your talent, which is like, it's not because of what you've done, you were just lucky. I think this is completely wrong. Any success always comes from a lot of work, and always requires a lot of work. And we always see successful people, or people who have achieved something, and we see the end result, we see them being good at something, but we don't see, the sweat and blood that they had to go through in order to get there. And not everyone shares those things. It's really sad to hear people depreciate your hard work that you've put into your skill. So that was it. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if someone has ever said these things to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!